Good morning, everyone, and welcome to my plus size grandma. First of all, I just give thanks to God and all His glory and all His help, all His strength and comfort. I thank God for being first in my life, His wisdom, His knowledge, for leading me, for teaching me, for holding me down. It's been rough this week, and I've been talking about it a lot because I want people to realize that this thing is real. These spirits out here are real. You can easily lose yourself according to who you are attached to. And I've seen so much in my son these last 5 months. I've seen him go from normal to being someone who couldn't even identify that I was his mother. I will say that the way things are going now, it's only God that keeps me lifted. And the encouraging words that I get from people who call and on Facebook and other social media sites. And I'm very thankful for all of you that have been standing in my corner, pushing me on, because it is not easy. But I always remember God's grace is sufficient. And although this thing is, it feels like it'll never end, well, there's an expiration date for everything that we go through. And I'm believing God for the best for my son, that his mind will come together. We finally got the doctors to see that he needs long-term treatment, long-term care. And, that can be anything from 30 days to a year to 2 years. We don't know what it is at this point. They were talking about doing step-down programs because he's got an addiction as well with this mental illness thing that's going on. So they're trying to work and get it all under control. And I know God already has it in control, but there are steps we got to take. We got to take those steps. And if we are part of the process, we just got to go through content. My heart, it breaks for my son, because that's the last thing you want to see is your child sick and they don't even know they sick. See your child taking stuff and they don't even know it's wrong. See your child go from being a normal, healthy child to now going back to being in a baby stage mind, but with an adult body. Nobody wants to see that, and that it hurts a lot. And it's hard as a caregiver to try to keep up with him and to make sure that he's safe and that I'm safe. And then when you call on people to help you, it seems like every no I got, I didn't look at it as negative. I said, God is going to put the right people in my path that can help me with this. And God has put some people in my path that gave me information without charging me, like lawyers, different attorneys that came through for me and gave me information on what I needed to do. Different nurses that worked in certain facilities, they told me, hey, they told me basically information that they weren't supposed to give out, but they gave it anyway as to how to go about getting things done. It's just a lot of people God put in my path that has been in our corner, because my son, anybody that knows my son, he ain't do nothing but his music, go to work, and, just be with family, chilling. That's all he do. But now this is a boy who cannot sleep at night, who walks 24/7. I mean, literally, he has walked the soles out of shoes that he's walking and pacing so much. And all of this is coming off of synthetic weed. So if you're listening and you're a person that likes to get high on weed, and I know they label out here in the streets weed as one of the good drugs that, don't make you lose your mind and stuff. Well, if you get enough of it, anything too much of will make you lose your mind. It will. And especially if it's the bad stuff. And unfortunately here in our county, we got a lot of bad stuff going on. And I'm just trying to make others aware of it. I can't stop you from smoking, just like I couldn't stop him. I couldn't stop him from smoking. I couldn't say, go in your room and don't come back out, because he is of age. He is 24 now. So I couldn't stop him from doing the things that he wanted to do. But what I could do was put a word in his ear. Every chance that I got that I felt was the right moment, I could talk to him and try to get him to listen and value his life more. But I soon found out that when you're schizophrenia and you're bipolar and all that stuff coming in there at the same time, it's hard to get a person to see their value and their worth here in this world. And it's just a whole lot. I spent I don't even know what the days were now. I've been up so long, y'all. I'm telling you, that's why I was always recording and stuff. I've been up so long that my thoughts even started, getting jumbled because I didn't have any rest. But I couldn't rest because my son was aggressive, and he didn't even realize how aggressive he was. He didn't realize some of the things that he was doing, like one incident where he had I went to the room to do something, and he had me cornered in the room, and I couldn't get out. I couldn't get out the room. And so I had him committed 3 times this week. And the mental institution, the behavior services, released him October the 1st. I come back behind him and had him, not the 1st, but on the 2nd, the next day, committed again. And they told me at the hospital, at Montgomery Memorial Hospital, Troy, North Carolina, they told me that he was okay. There's nothing wrong with him. And they sent him back home, saying that this is just how they act when they like that. I was like, what? No, I understand that he got a mental illness, but the things he's doing right now is just too dangerous for me and my family and to himself and others that may be around him. Excuse me, y'all. I haven't had time to take care of myself, by the way, with this cold, because the medicine I need to take will put me to sleep, and I couldn't sleep around him. But they sent him home. And I was like, what in the world? So I didn't get any sleep. Then the next day, he was doing even worse. It seemed like it was getting worse and worse. And I was like, oh my God, I can't let this boy keep going through this. Because let me tell you something, what this illness does, the schizophrenia and the bipolar and the psychosis and stuff, what it resembles to is a patient with dementia. If you've ever been around someone with dementia, like the elderly, where they can remember sometimes and then sometimes they can't, short-term memory, or either they have a lot of flashbacks. This is the process that we're dealing with now, and what we're going through, where he lives in a world that really doesn't exist, and we try to keep him into reality. The life that he is living may be his dreams, because he kept saying, I have nightmares. I'm not going to sleep. I have those nightmares, so I'm not going to sleep. And those nightmares, are things that he's seeing happening. I will say during this time, y'all, for real, I will say this. God is using him even in the midst of his storm, because he has said stuff out of his mouth. And we were like, boy, stop talking like that. You don't know what you're talking about. And this stuff would come true. Some of the stuff that he was saying would come true. It would be the advanced knowledge of God. And then there was things he would say that we knew were not of God. We knew those thoughts were not of God. So I'm hoping that he gets the care that he needs. They agreed to do long-term care. But like I said, I don't know what long-term may be to them, because long-term can be 30 days and then they want to release him, or long-terms can be 2 months or a year. It just depends. And The woman even gave me advice. One of the registered nurses gave me advice on that. She said if they want to release him and you feel like he's not really well enough, don't just let the state keep him. Don't even go pick him up. Let the state keep him. So it's a lot of decisions that's being made, and it's hard on me because I have to be the one make the decision. So I'm the one have to face them face to face. And my strength is in the Lord. My joy is in the Lord. So I don't mind going to him face to face with the truth and saying, look, son, things ain't right and you need this help. And I'm not going to let you out till you get this help. That's just how I am. I mean, I've had to do it for other people in my family. I've had to help other people that go through this same thing. There was a point in my life where I was going through some things and I had to go get the mental treatment, and it helped me a lot. So I know if he stayed the course, it will help him. And one of the things about the synthetic weed is it takes so long to come off the brain. And if you're continuously smoking it, then guess what? It's going to take that longer to come off the brain. It is not the same chemical as marijuana. Like people think. It's not the same. This chemical is deadly. It will take your mind. If you get hold of the wrong batch, it will take your mind and you don't get that mind. Some of those brain cells, they're not going to come back. Only thing you can do is pray that you're in the will of God to live a normal life. As normal life as you can, because once those brain cells die, only God can heal that brain. And that's what I'm depending on, is God to heal my son's brain. I'm not stressing. I tell my family, don't panic. God is in control. And the things, what happened with the car, him taking the car, he didn't even know. Listen, this boy did not even know he done stole a car. He thought that he was just he told the doctors, he said, I was joyriding, and they said, where did you get the car? And he said, somebody gave it to me, but the car was not given to him. The guy went in the store, gave him a ride uptown and went in the store, and he took the car. And when the doctor asked him, where was he riding to? He told the doctor that he was riding in circles. And so we was all on Facebook Live trying to get tips. Have you seen this car? Have you seen this car? And a lot of tips came in, and we finally found him in Star, North Carolina. And he was parked on railroad tracks, which I had to stay back hidden, because if he saw me, he would have, got excited and wouldn't have got in the car. See, y'all, it's a process to this thing. He couldn't see me, because then he would have felt like something was going on or something was wrong. So I had to hide back while my sister got him. And when he got into the car, first of all, he had parked that car up on the railroad tracks, and he was outside of the car trying to cross the road, trying to figure out how to cross the road. He was that confused. And when we finally got him in the car, we came up with a plan quick. It was a quick plan. We had to get him to a certain location we had one person take the car back to its owner, and there was 6 of us, maybe 7 of us. 7 of us was in on the plan to get him to a hospital somewhere and get him some treatment. And that we did, and they did their test, and that's when they told us that he had the brain damage and stuff, and that he needed to be in long-term treatment. And that breaks your heart to hear that. But there's hope out there, y'all. There's hope. There is hope out there. We gotta stick together, and we gotta continue educating one another, giving our testimonies to help the next person, because what could have turned tragic became a blessing by pulling people together off of Facebook. And not only did those people respond, but they were calling